What's up, everyone? Welcome to Rocky Students. I'm excited to be with you all tonight. We're gonna start off something a little different, right? Me and my family, we got into opening these Disney Lorcana packs. They're like Pokemon cards, but Disney characters. And so I just want to introduce you all to it, teach you a little bit along the way. There's like a bunch, hundreds of these cards. Some of these are worth over $100. We'll see what we get today, but we're just gonna start opening some packs. I'm gonna teach you some things along the way, because some of them are valuable. Some are just like, man, we don't really care about these cards at all. Some of these are very hard to open, apparently. First one, this is not a good start, but we're gonna be all right. All right. So usually in these packs, there's always like a rare, maybe even a super rare. They're just fun, all right? So I'll do the first one and then we'll kind of go from there. You got Lady and the Tramp, you got Susie, you got the card Soldier, you got Pain from Hercules, you got that cat, Bolt, Cusco, Mary, Fidget. Ooh, we're already off to a crazy card. That is a legendary right there. This is worth a couple bucks, all right? So when we get these legendaries, we're gonna be putting them in a nice protector here because they matter a lot, all right? So we'll put that one aside. Right into another legendary, the Return of Hercules. Again, this is a big deal. And then we got our foil card on the back, all right? So foils, they matter. These ones, they don't matter at all. For all we care, you can just throw them in the trash. But man, these guys here, they're all gonna get a real special, we're gonna treat them special because they're special cards. And as we keep getting into it, you'll get to see more and more and more, but for now, that was a really good start. If you've ever have watched this before, most people are not getting 2 legendaries on their first pack. So that's kind of a fun deal. So we're gonna put these in this like nice plastic deal here. Same with the other one, because those ones are really matter, For all we know, for the next couple packs, we're just gonna like pretty much just throw the first 9 cards in the trash, all right? They just don't even really matter. And that's just kind of what we're doing. So those ones we got right there, those could be a couple bucks, which is kind of exciting, all right? So again, all of these, none of them matter. We're not even gonna look at them until we get to a super rare right there, a Taka super rare. Nice. We got another super rare Pete. That's another really nice card. And then we got a foil Pete. So again, those ones are all gonna get sleeved. Those ones matter a lot. And so we're just gonna keep plugging through. Because we're really like, again, all these cards don't really matter. Put in the trash. We're just looking for those real nice cards that matter the most, So we got this rare. It's cool. We'll put it in the rare pile over here. Matters a little bit. This is a legendary. That right there is like a $12 card. So we will definitely be putting that one in a nice sleeve. And then we got a foil Baymax. Pretty cool. All right. So right now we got some real good packs. I promise, there's a point to this whole video. If you guys have never jumped into Disney Lorcana, it's super fun. Me and my family, we're big Disney characters. There's Mickey, Minnie, all the things. All right, we got someone from Treasure Planet. If you like Treasure Planet, come chat with me. I'll give you some cards, but I do not. Brother Bear, a little rare right there. And then we got a cool Cheshire foil, all right? But if you love Pokemon cards, these are sweet. But if you love Disney, we've had even more fun of a time doing this, and it's a cool community. But it's just something, I like to hang out with you guys. Sometimes it's just fun to like tell you some things about my life, and so this is it. Me and my kids, my wife, we love collecting these. Another John Silver. We got a Lady and the Tramp rare and to a Baymax foil. That's pretty fun. All right, cool. We're actually trying to get it'd be really cool if we saw an enchanted card. Those can be, anything over 30 bucks. But again, we're just kind of speaking about value here. Some of these cards don't matter at all. Like I said, they're just good for the trash. Or I don't know what you do. These ones are fun to play with. There's some value there. We got a Mushu rare. It's pretty cool. Ooh, we got a little uncommon foil. Those ones could be worth, a couple cents there, which is fun. But the value here matters. When you get a vet card that's really valuable, you want to protect it. You want to put it in a sleeve. You want to put it in a hard case. Because those ones matter a lot. Whereas all these guys right here, just dude, we don't really care about those, Mad Hatter rare. We got this guy as a rare. And we just pulled a super rare by $1 or $2. which is pretty fun to get. So that's sweet. We're down to our last pack, all right? Disney Lorcana. Again, if you want to jump into this hobby, let me know. It's pretty fun. Again, we're gonna go through all these trash cards, just get rid of them. And we're gonna move right into, look at it, we're trying to get something big again. We've already seen some legendaries, which is cool. We got a rare, we got a super rare bolt, and we're going into, you guys, I didn't make this up. This is unreal. We just pulled an enchanted, which is crazy. So this super rare right into a Radigan enchanted. I don't have my computer with me, but last I looked, this was like 40 some bucks. All right, so super cool. Again, that's really rare. They say like you got to open like 96 packs to be able to get one of these. So you want to know what we do with rares? This is a plastic, super protective case. Because again, when you see something super valuable, we're going to protect it, right? And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to throw it right in this case right away. And now it is protected, and that is a super cool card, all right? Again, these ones, these legendaries, they are super valuable. Enchanteds, super valuable. These ones right here, I'm gonna sleeve all of them. We're gonna put them in these protectors. We're gonna treat them right. And then all of these like trash cards that just don't matter, we'll see you later. So hope you all enjoyed just a little bit of pack opening as we jump in to the rest of tonight. So let's keep jumping into it. See ya.
All right. Hey, what's up, everyone? You might be sitting there and you're like, why in the world did I just watch Disney Pokemon for 6 minutes? And here's the deal. I don't plan to ever do that again, but I wanted to do something interesting for you guys so you can just hear me talk for 15 minutes. And I promise it's all gonna make sense when it's all said and done, because tonight, man, I'm excited to be back with you all. It's good seeing some of you. It's good meeting you guys. But I also just want to jump into like the underlying tone of tonight. It's just gonna be about value. I did my best in this video to kind of talk about the value of the different cards, right? The reality is those first 9 cards, me and my family and my kids actually like to collect those. They actually aren't in the trash. But I wanted to be really clear about just making it a priority of the value ones, the ones that's worth 40, the ones that are worth 5 cents, all right? And because here's the reality is I actually think when you look at the statistics and you look at kind of this room here, I'm gonna pull this up. I think there's actually a very large amount of us, these are the rarity signs. You got your common, uncommon, you got your rare, super, blah, blah, blah. I think actually a lot of us in this room live in this category. We're sitting there and you're like, you know what? When I actually look at the value of my life, I kind of feel common. Meaning like, I actually don't know if I have that much value to provide to my friend group. I don't know if I have that much value to provide to the group project. I don't know if I have that much value to provide when it comes to like figuring out my job. Some of us live in this category, and I'll touch base as maybe how you're here. There might be some of us here in these middle categories, which again, rare, super rare, legendary. Where like, there's days where you're like, I don't actually know about my value. And then there's days where you're in your lane and you're like, I got this. I provide a lot of value to whatever it is that I'm working on or where I'm at, all right? So some of you might live in this area. And then there's some of you in this enchanted category where you're like, dude, I bring value wherever I show up. Like I know that whether I got an F on my test or whether like something isn't going right with my friends, there's value that I can bring to where I'm at. And a lot of people who are in this category that I think have figured that out, there's a good level or a good chance that faith is a huge part of why you live here. Because maybe at some point in time, you're like, yeah, guess what? I don't actually provide a bunch of value, but because of what Jesus did on the cross for me, I can live in a place where I have value, all right? So this is just a little bit of what we're talking about tonight. And here's what I want to just kind of preface is some of us who are here and some of us who are over here, there's a reality that some of us were just dealt some better cards in life. Meaning, some of you maybe were born into a family who like, they genuinely care about you. They're like, hey, here's some things that you're really good at. Here are the things I see in you. Keep doing it. Great job. And then there's some of us who maybe grew up in the family where it was like, my family has never said anything nice to me. They beat down my value every single day. And so it makes sense as to why I'm here is because I'm not surrounded by anyone who says anything kind about me. And then we're all the way in between everywhere else, right? And so sometimes you might be sitting there thinking about yourself in this category or this category just based off of your life experiences, something that happened to you, things that are going on. So I get it, all right? here's the deal with this though. I think one thing that I love about Jesus, and we're going to talk about faith tonight, we're going to talk about life. One of the things I love about Jesus is consistently we see in the Bible him showing up for people who are often overlooked. Which there's a huge part of my story that I relate to that, right? A couple just quick like Bible verses, and then I'll just jump into some things in my own life. But some of you might be thinking like, all right, we heard Jesus heal all the people. There's also this story of the rich young ruler who has everything and shows up to Jesus looking for more and says, what do I need to do? And Jesus essentially has a tone in there that says, you're way more worth than the things you own. You're way more than the possessions that you have. Your value is so much beyond that. And then oftentimes we see in the Bible people who are blind, people who can't walk, people who have some sort of like health thing going on. They also need help, right? And so Jesus shows up to them and says, guess what? You're often overlooked. Everyone in society looks past you. I'm here and I'm focusing on you in this moment. And so he takes care of those people. And that's what I love about Jesus is he takes care of the outcasts. Here's the deal. I think what's really neat about value and what I want to be clear on, it's not about your grades. It's not about what team you make. It's not about how successful you are, what your hourly pay is at your job. None of that stuff should play into your value. All right? It's based on who you are. And when we bring faith into it, there's this reality of like you were created by God. Can't remember. This is this. I'm going to leave that up there because we might jump into it a little bit. Actually, I'll read it now. It's Romans 5:8. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Your value isn't earned. It's proven by the cross. And maybe you're sitting there and you're like, that still doesn't work for me, Matt. I just love this verse because we see it, what he did when he lived on earth here and how he treated people. And that applies to us just now. Some of my like personal story that I think maybe will resonate, maybe not. I want to talk about two different stories here because I think there's a neat opportunity here. My first one is when I was in middle school. Maybe you've heard this before, but I often got picked on. I wasn't as big as I am now. Careful who you pick on. I wasn't as big as I am now, and so I got beat up. I got picked on all the time. And so in middle school, it was like, I'm just sitting here fighting for my value. Like, does anyone even see me? Because it feels like I got to invite myself to when my friends are hanging out because they're not inviting me. My parents, my teachers are trying, but I cared a lot about what my peers thought about me. And so because they didn't really like me, I felt like my value was just like I was over here in the common value, right? Like I'm not worth anything. So fast forward, I'm figuring out some things in high school, into college. And when I got to college, there was just something that switched where I was like, man, my value is not actually based upon how my peers think about me. I want to be a good friend. If Logan and me are friends and he gives me some feedback, I want to be able to change who I am just to be a better friend, right? But there's a lot of people who I was like, all right, there's times where people are just, they have a lot going on and they're taking it out on me. I actually am in a place right now in college where me just remembering someone's name and saying hey to them on the way to class could make a difference. It doesn't have to be this grand thing. And the reason why I share those two stories is because one, if you're sitting in this area of no value, a couple things I want to say to you is I get it. It sucks. I get it. It doesn't have to be that way forever. At the end of tonight, I'm going to give you some things that you can do to try to move out of this sense of like, man, I don't feel like I have any value. I don't feel like I can make any impact in the world because I'm stuck in a low value life, right? And the other second part I'd say about that is it's just not true. It's just not true. And then I think for some of you, maybe you fit more into the college aspect where you actually have a lot of great things going for you. You feel like you bring a lot of value to things. My encouragement to you is use that not to build a platform upon people, but to bring people up with you. There's nothing that drives me crazier than when someone has a lot of things going for them and they just want to step on people when they're down. Bring people up, encourage people, make a positive impact when you are able to, right? Here's one of the things that I love is Wednesday nights are all happen because every leader in this room who's shown up, we got leaders who've been here for over 10 years showing up for you guys, and because they see the value in every single one of you. Whether they've had a conversation with you or not, it doesn't matter. I think we take the model of Jesus that says if you have a heartbeat, you matter, you have value. It doesn't matter about what you do, who you are. We sit there and we're like, when you decide to do this or that, you have value. These nights are all about trying to say, hey, guess what? We see you guys, we love you, and let's just have an opportunity to talk about faith in Jesus. That's what I love about Wednesdays. If you were at SummerCon, you have to have heard it this way or heard me talk here before. Your value helps you discover your purpose, make an impact, use your influence, and lean into your faith. Again, we're not trying to make Wednesday nights boring. I tried to do something fun for y'all tonight. We really genuinely care about you guys. Here's just, I'm wrapping things up. We're gonna get out here in a second, but one of the things I love about Wednesday nights and doing what I get to do is I have this thing called, I just love to build bridges. I love to try to connect you from one place and get you to another. And so for some of you guys sitting here, if you were in this low value side, man, let's build a bridge to get you out of that spot, because no one should live here. And I don't want to give you any shame, but Jesus looks at you and says, you are way past this value level. You have so much more to bring to society. You have so much more to bring to your family. He died on the cross for you. I've said this before, if you were the only person alive, Jesus would have done the same thing. And I love that. I love that. And here's just a little bit. Right now I'm going to say, if you're not necessarily a note taker, but you want to take a picture, this is the one to do. I'll get out of the way. Of course. Yep. Here we go. Just take a picture of the whole thing, because there are going to be moments in your life where you're going to feel like you have low value some days. This is super easy. There's certain things that you can just do one step. If you are trying to get out of a low value just feeling about yourself, you have to do something about it. It's super easy. You might be cheesy about this, but one thing that you appreciate how God made you. Maybe you're like, that's the cheesiest question in the world. Great, what's one thing you love about yourself? And then maybe some of you guys are over here and you're like, when I have a really awesome value in my life, what are some things that I can do to make a positive impact? I'm not gonna read these things for you, so take a picture, all right? I think I always wanna give you guys something when it comes to a Wednesday night that is super practical that you guys can implement to help your life improve, or for you to move from one place to another. If you guys have other dreams you guys want to do, it was about SummerCon. We want to be bridge builders for you guys to get you from one place to another. And so something like this is key. I don't have much more else to say, except I'm super glad to be with you guys. I'm always thankful when you guys show up to a Wednesday night. I'm excited for what's going to happen this school year. And I also know life is just going to happen. And you guys are going to show up, and there's going to be some really hard weeks and some great weeks. We just want you guys to keep showing up. We'll keep showing up for you guys. We have an amazing group of leaders here. They're gonna keep showing up for you guys. We love y'all. Let me pray real quick, and then we'll head on out. Hey, Jesus, man, just thank you for tonight. I thank you for the friends I got to meet, friends I got to see again tonight. We're just really grateful for who you are and the way that you love us. I know friends in here tonight are just dealing with maybe feeling a low sense of value in their life. And we know that you don't see that in us as well. We will help move some of us to a place where we get to see the way that you see us, that you love us, and that we can start loving other people as well. Again, just thank you for these nights. We pray that you'll just make this semester as best as possible. We love you. In your name we pray.